Okay, so now we've got a working application and we have learned how to debug some of the data that we're collecting through the application, but now we want to add some additional fields. So we're going to use the same tools that we've used before. I'm going to return to SciPilot and I'm going to go to my form field section. Now keep in mind you could have multiple form field sections within your dashboard, so there are no restrictions there. But I'm going to make a couple of changes here and I want to add some fields. So I'm going to start with my name. Now I know that I really want it to be first name and last name, so I'm going to copy my name and I'm going to take it and duplicate it back into the page. Now this shows you how quickly you can take a component and you can add it to an existing dashboard. So imagine, if you will, that you had a set of pre-configured gizmo names. You could certainly just copy them and share them or duplicate them into your application. But in this case, I'm going to go and I'm going to change this first one and I'm going to call it first name. And so I'll change my label. And then I'm going to go to my second one. And I will have last name. So now I've got two fields on my screen, two different gizmos, values that I can access. And then I'm going to actually add a third one. And this one is going to be called, let's add an email. So I'm going to create a gizmo like we did before. And then I'm going to just edit the gizmo and I'll load up a new gizmo configuration for this setup, and I'm going to go find my input and my email. Alright, so input email. So once this is loaded in, I'll have a new configuration. I can set the standard attributes. I'll set it up as a required field. And I'm going to assign a name here. Now what I'm going to do differently though is that if you go back and you remember how we set the grid configuration for this page, we've got it set in a 2-column mode. So we're currently running with 24-column configuration with 12 or 24 by 24. So it's going to be stacked on top of each other. And really I want it now to be 24 by 12. So I'm going to put my first name in the first 12 columns, my last name in the next 12 columns, and that email is really a longer field. So I want to explicitly override this one field, and I want to say, no, this one's going to take up 24 columns. So I can slide down here, and I can just override the length of it and say this one is 24. And that's all I have to do. So now I can save my change. And now if I go back and refresh my application, I've got 3 fields on my screen, all working properly, Sumner, and then the email has got different validation on it. So as I type, you'll notice that it's still invalid. So I have to type in valid email address at itrium.com. And once it's validated, we know the application is valid. I can tab out. It's ready to go. It's all complete. I can see on my server side I've got access to my Gmail, my first name, and my last name. All right, that's it for adding fields. Simple and easy.